G. I gotta keep in mind that relatives of mine is trying to build like me. Sit down with G Connect, gotta think. Every moment got you tapping the mental and looking out for the key. As a youngin', do it all for the G. I gotta keep in mind that relatives of mine is trying to build like me. Sit down with G Connect, gotta think. Every moment got you tapping the mental and looking out for the key. Whoa.
Peace, y'all. What's up? This is I Kill the MC from the Jurassic 5, and you are now tuned in to G Connect.
Yo, this your OG partner, Cocaine, and you're tapped in to G Connect.
You're now tuned in with G Connect.
Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Raz Cash. You now tuned in to G Connect.
This is Slim Kid Trey, and I'm chilling right here on G Connect.
This your boy Pooh tapping in with G Connect.
It's your girl Christine Carolyn, aka the Comedy Cougar, and I'm tapping in with G Connect.
Homeboy Tash right here from the world famous Alcoholics, and I'm over here G Connected with the G Connect.
G Connect. It's your girl Miss Toy, and always stay connected. All right.
Okay. We back at it again, continuing the conversation with the one and only Code 187, member of the Above the Law rap group, better known as Big Hutch. Let's get it. Now, hey, how did now that thought made me think about something. How did Above the Law become part of the Same Game project?
Oh, yeah, we were working on, at the time, me and Dre was mixing, we were mixing Living Like Hustlers album, and he played it for Mike Concepcion. Shout out Mike Concepcion, who put the whole project together. And he loved our album, and he was like, he wanted to put a new artist. He wanted to put a new group on there. So he just asked us would we be on it, and we got on, because he wanted he wanted all original people like that was bubbling at the time, and then he wanted like a new artist on there. So he put us on there. He loved it. You know, Mike, shout out to Mike Concepcion, because he gave us our first shot. You know what I mean?
Shout out, Mike. Shout out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, on a really phenomenal record, because we hadn't dropped Living Like Hustlers yet. You know what I mean? It just, he heard us in the studio, because we did it at the Ruthless studio, and he heard the album, was like, dang, I want them on the Same Game, because I think they're going to be down the bubble. And, you know, then we took off from there.
Right.
You know?
Right. Man, y'all did, man. I was a fan as a youngin'. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you, man.
You know,
thank you.
I mean, we ain't that far apart in age, but, you know, it's like I was still young as far as the music-wise.
To Pomona South Central Compton sound. You got Above the Law. That's all three. It's a trifecta.
Yes,
you know?
Sir. Yes, sir. So strictly West Coast, baby.
Strictly West. It don't get no more west to the Above the Law. So
for real. Well, I mean, as a group, yeah. Because the only people that could probably compete with y'all would be West Side Connection.
Right. I mean, for us, like what we was talking about when we came out was the raw essence of how it was going on in them areas. The hustling, the banging, the slanging, being fly. Like a lot of times when we look at LA, the LA culture, you know, which is what we decided to do, is give you the whole LA culture, not just the gang culture. Because remember, we came up in the era in the 80s, the dope boy era. So right. even if you was a gangster, you had a dope boy swag with it. You know what I mean? Right. So that's what Above the Law brought to the game. We bought that whole Cali swag. Not that, you know, because like if you say West Side Connect, that's more banging music. If you say Above the Law, it's more about the banging, the slanging.
Yeah, I got you. Let me clarify for myself, because I wasn't stating it in the aspect of you saying that the members of your group were from three different sections of California. You know,
absolutely.
So
that's right.
And I was saying that the only thing I was saying, I was thinking of what other group has three different members that's not from that same area. The only that's where I came.
That's true, because we all. It's funny, and it's funny you say that is because like in the 80s, what cats used to do, even being from different places, they still used to hustle together.
Right.
So that's how we came in. We start hustling together. You know, that's how all that happened. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, in that aspect, you're right. You know what I mean? Like when you look at the place it came out of, the place it was birthed at, and and the whole ideal of it, it comes from 3 different sections of LA.
Right. That was my whole burger. Mac 10s from Inglewood. This episode of G Connect is brought to you by my folks over at Trust Me Vodka, Ultra Premium Vodka. Trust me, it go, homie. Holla at your boy. But then again, no.
You're
then
right.
again, I stand corrected. Right. No, I gotta take it back.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the comparison. Yeah, I got you. That's parallel. I got you, brother. I got you.
That was my whole. That was my whole. Yeah. And I didn't look.
But the thing that I do love about our culture was, and easy to say that to me, is like, man, you know, we do hood shit. We all do hood shit. But I think what all of us did, we all had our own way to interpret how it was in Southern California. You know what I mean? None of it was the same. You could say, I can listen to Cube, Mac, and I can listen to y'all, I can listen to NWA, and it be talking about the same West Coast shit, but it be interpreted different, you know?
Yes.
It's not kind of like now when you look at it, it's very, I hate it because, like, shout out to Nip, shout out to YG Game, you know, all Kendrick, all the guys that's, you know, on their way to become legendary. I wish that they had more light and more impact on the overall essence of what we built. Not because, like, if you look at Ruthless and you look at Death Row, a lot of times now, and I'm gonna be real on your show, we don't see a conglomerate like Ruthless or Death Row on the West. We see a lot of dope artists, but we don't see the conglomerate to where people look at, and they're brilliant, they're really, really dope. You know what I mean? And that's not being seen like that in the new era because there's other markets that are kind of like dominating, you know, from Canada to Atlanta to all these different places, just as super dominating when all these dope artists that are on the West don't get that look because we don't have that conglomerate anymore, you know? We don't have those conglomerates no more, dog, you know?
That's so true. That's so true. And we didn't have it. We only had it for a little bit.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, we had to fight to get the West. We didn't even support our own selves.
Probably like an 8-year span of really like being in position. You know what I mean? And then, you know, because early in the game, Easy Pass, and then Suge goes to jail, and then Suge, you know, comes home, and then, you know, Death Row falls apart, and you know, that kind of thing. You know. So then Aftermath does this thing, but Aftermath was more like, you know, shout out Dr. Dre, you know, Dre more like took the West to all these different other levels, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's a global sensation from what he did with NWA all the way up to what he's doing now with, you know, everything that he's doing moving forward, you know what I mean? But we don't have that, like that grounded root, like where people are like, okay, they're the new Death Row, Aftermath, Ruthless. They're the new, you know what I'm saying? Right. Because I think it's a lot different now because the way those other people, the way a Suge or a Easy looked at it was like, we want to be looked at as like we're putting our flag in the ground and holding it down for the West, you know.
One for all and all for one.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not there no more.
You know.
This episode of G Connect is brought to you by my folks over at Trust Me Vodka, Ultra Premium Vodka. Trust me, it go, homie. Holla at your boy.
So check out the sponsor, Trust Me Vodka, at trustmevodka.com and Trust Me Vodka on Instagram.
G Connect, where different generations have real conversations. Trust me.
Trust me.
J so big.